Okay, welcome to Massively TV. I'm Jeremy with Massively.com or Massively.joystick.com. I'm going to be live streaming some Runes of Magic today. It's currently 8 p.m. on Friday, October 14th, so if you're watching this right now, you're watching it live. Otherwise, you're watching it pre-recorded. Okay, I'm just going to change some sound settings here. Can everybody in the chat room hear me okay? I'm going to lower the music down a bit and maybe some sound effects too. I'd like you to be able to hear the game, but I also, when it's blasting in my eardrums, I end up kind of inadvertently trying to talk louder to kind of speak over it. Let's just lower the sound effects and interface down. Okay. That might be a little too low, I don't know, but alright, I just wanted to kill some stuff today. Does that sound good? I thought we could jump into some dungeons, and it's really hard doing dungeons solo, right? Because dungeons are pretty much made for partying, but we'll see. Let's see what we can do here. Let me clear out some of these guys here. I'm gonna go into Cyclops Lair in dragonfang Ridge. Before I get started, though, I want to post up some information in the chat room. We've got the link to our Runes of Magic articles and columns. So if you're new here and you don't know anything about Massively and or Runes of Magic, you can check out this link I just sent to the chat room. Nahon says the volume's okay. Thank you. So then we're good to go with that. And the link's up. So this is Dragonfang Ridge for anybody in the chat room that doesn't know anything about the game. And by the way, feel free to shoot off questions, and there might be some Runes of Magic veterans in the chat room as well that can help you out. But we are way over here in the top left. We're about to go through this dungeon right here. Uh oh. There we go. This is pretty much the layout. Cyclops Stronghold. I know it says Agrees Sanctum. I guess that's an unofficial title. For the US servers, it's pretty much called Cyclops Lair. So we've got a handful of bosses. I might not even get past the second boss, even though I think I'm fairly pimped out. I have mostly purples on right now. I'm using the Vatos spell set because I am a priest rogue, but I'm speccing a little bit differently. I'll get into in a second here. I have the Vatos set and everything is modded and upgraded with all 6 yellow stats each. I won't run down every single one, but I have some fairly high ones. I think the lowest yellow stats I have is maybe the Illumin or competition. I can't remember, is the competition lower or higher than the Hoto? I don't even remember where competition comes from. But I have some Sea of the Temple and Spell of the Temple. I was going to say those are Hoto, but those aren't. Those are from Raksha Temple, right? And I've got some Crimsons, the new lovely Crimson 8 yellows from the mini games. I've got, like on my Magic Rage earring, I've got the Crimson Emptiness, Safeguard, and Illusion, which are giving me tons of intelligence and stamina and defense and magic defense. And I know you're probably asking right now, why priest. I'm a priest. Why? Intelligence. Because I'm obstinate and I like to push the envelope in games and try to find different things to do than what is the most obvious. So I'm building a priest rogue that is spec'd like a mage. I've said before in other live streams. So I have a ton of intelligence all over my person. Just so you know, I finally completed my set. I still have to upgrade a bunch of pieces, so it's not complete in that sense, but I finally completed my set. I'm using a combination of the Elemental Flame set and the Blessing of Death set, which is the Quack gear. So I have Elemental Flame headdress, Elemental Flame robe, and Elemental Flame shoulder guards. And I have Quack's belt, Quack's leg guards, and Quack's gloves. That completes my set bonuses, or my sets that I'll be getting set bonuses from. From the Elemental Flame set, I'm getting plus 200 intelligence, plus 240 magical crit hit rate, and plus 130 magical accuracy. Now the magic crit rate doesn't matter so much because as a priest I have mostly damage over times, which aren't calculated based on magic crit in Runes of Magic. And my Quack's gloves set is giving me plus 52 stamina, plus 75 wisdom, and plus 600 magical attack. So, see, what I tried to do was I tried to find a combination of sets that offered me the most bang for my buck, but also didn't give me too much magical critical hit rate. A lot of standard mage gear is stacked with extra bonuses like ghost stats of magical critical hit rate, and I don't need most of that. So I had to really kind of search and find a few specific pieces of gear that would benefit me more, that had maybe more magic attack and more intelligence or more maximum HP rather than a whole bunch of magical critical hit rate. I do need a couple more pieces, like I don't have my cape or my boots yet. I was really hoping to get an Aoth Nature cape, but I think that's going to be somewhat impossible, or nigh impossible. I don't even know anybody who has one. I'm on the Artemis server. I don't know who has one, but I also was hoping to get Tempered Terror Weave boots, but I think that's another one that's really hard to get. So I think what I'm going to do is there's a Black Codex Vendor cape, which is you buy with the mementos, that I'm going to save up mementos to buy. I think it's 300 or 400 mementos, so it's something crazy. And my weapons aren't even done yet, so I do have a lot of ways to go to finish. Let's go ahead and jump into Cyclops Lair. I can continue the commentary as I slaughter some stuff here. So let's just get to slaughter. These guys are going to be a cakewalk for me, so I know it's kind of gratuitous. I currently, let me kill a couple more of these guys. I'll show you some of my base stats right now. I do have, right now, unbuffed, I have 27,902 HP. I got 17,725 mana, which, mana is pretty much, doesn't really even matter to me right now. It only matters when healing, but because I'm spec'd like a mage, I'm trying to be a DPS priest, essentially, and deal as much damage as I do heals, or more damage than I do heals. So I guess in that respect I'd be an off healer, but that makes me very unpopular in grouping. But to make up for that, some of my elite skills are pretty popular. My Shadow Fury is probably the most popular for a priest rogue. Let me get that up here, I'll show it to you. Whoops. We want skills. Shadow Fury, this increases the entire party's critical magical hit rate. And right now mine's at level 58, so it's boosting magic crit rate by 163.8 for 900 seconds. Which is pretty much 15 minutes. Why they haven't changed those on the tooltips yet, I don't know. I think they should change those on the tooltips. It'd be much easier if they just started saying increases blah 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 for 15 minutes instead of 900 seconds. It's kind of like, okay. But also at level 50, finally got my 50/50 elites, and I got my Shadow Fury or Shadow Fairy, Cha-ching. I can summon her up here. Do a little wah 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 wah, swing. Shadow Fury or Shadow Fairy has a nice little Wraith Halo instant. It raises the magical attack power of the party members within a radius of 200 by 10% and increases the Master's dark damage by 10%. So I'm like a mage's best friend. Priest Rogue is a mage's best friend. So I don't know, you know, I'd love to get a group together that was like 4 mages and me. That'd be kind of cool. Let's move on here. We need to get to the first boss here and do some killing. For some people coming in late, like iLord, Unreal 2K5 answered him about what game this is. It is Runes of Magic. It's a free-to-play MMO developed by Runewaker Entertainment, and they're a Taiwanese company, and published in Germany and America by Frogster. And it's my favorite game, my favorite MMO right now, and it's been that way for a while. I've been playing this for almost 3 years. So, yeah. Hello, people go boom. People go boom. I think Peoples was AFK for a little while. I'm not going to kill all these guys because I don't need to just to get to the boss. I am level 6250, so I'm way over level for this instant dungeon. Cyclops Lair is, I believe it's always been rated for level 50. But you gotta take those ratings with a grain of salt for anybody who is familiar with Runes of Magic, because this game is very gear oriented. Gear speaks louder than levels in this game, which is kind of cool. It gives the game so much potential. A level 30 player has the possibility and ability to gear up so much that he could kill and beat a level 50 or a level or even up player. I don't know. I know with mobs, I'm forgetting now if there is a hard cap between levels. I don't think there are. There's pros and cons with that, but just a kind of not rant, but to kind of brag, I guess, a little bit, be a fanboy. You are your gear, like here, your gear is insane. You're able to insanely modify your gear. For instance, all these yellow numbers you see on there, I put those on there by getting those stats from dungeons and buying them. I bought most of mine in the auction house, by the way. Don't tell anyone. But you can also raise the tier of the weapon, which boosts its base stats. You can get a power modifier it's a durability modifier actually, but it will temporarily raise the base stats, and you can refine the weapon, which adds a plus number, and that further increases it. You can get slots to upgrade. My elemental flame headdress you're looking at right here is plus 16. Yes, it's a pride and joy of mine. Plus 16 is currently the highest refinement level. and I only got 2 slots on mine, but I do have a potential 8, which gives me plus 37.2 to all attributes, which is very cool. But compared to other combo classes my level, I am kind of gimped a little bit, people would say. I mean, I don't care because I'm way too much fun with this class combo. Priest Rogue is a very rare combo. You don't see very many people taking it because it's considered one of the hybrid classes, one of the ones that has to kind of forfeit a little bit of power from each of its classes in order to gain the bonuses of being a hybrid class. So while a priest, like my Priest Rogue, gains the benefits of the party buffs, the magic crit raising and magic attack raising for the party, I got these killer DOTs. I forfeit a lot of power, a lot of healing potential, in order to be able to get enough health, enough healing points. Oh, he tried to attack me. Hi, Lord. Thanks. I'll take it as a compliment. Runes of Magic is a Eastern import. A lot of people, it's a free-to-play game, so a lot of people like to immediately lump it in the same category as all the other free-to-play games. And first of all, to talk about that is, I think free-to-plays aren't given enough recognition to begin with. But on top of that, I think Runes of Magic far surpasses all other free-to-play games. Why? Because it plays much more like a Western game, like World of Warcraft and others, and it's very congenial, which means like playing isn't like hitting a lot of roadblocks. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole cash out debate too much here, but because we want to just have fun killing some stuff today. Yeah, DDO is really good. DDO probably functions a little bit better, but DDO plays a little bit different too. Personally, I like DDO, but I just can't keep it as my main game just because of the way it plays. Alright, here's the big bad boss, Bodosh. Let me buff up and then we'll go in for the kill. It shouldn't take long. So yeah, I totally understand people who think DDO is probably the best of the free-to-play bunch. It might be. I mean, it runs smoothly, it runs well. I mean, it does what it does well. Let me clear out some more of these trash mobs. Okay, buffed, I'm pushing right now 30,000 HP. What happened to my Shadow Fairy? Come back here. People go booms asking what is DDO. DDO is Dungeons and Dragons Online. Uh-oh, he's gonna attack. Diagram. Alright, I'm gonna go in for the kill here. I'm gonna throw my lovely DDOs on DOTs on him, DDOs on him, and then just pound away with my Rising Tide. And I should probably kill him here in a few hits. Well, maybe more than a few. And Bodosh goes down for the count. Oops, there's a little trash mob. Yeah, a little bit more than a few. I'm a priest, so I mean, you know, priests are made for healing, but I'm obstinate. I'm going against the grain. I'm trying to be a DPS priest here. So we're gonna move on to the second boss. The second boss can actually kill me, guys. So I'm not the best player. You know, like, my reflexes aren't very good anymore, and so I apologize for not being elite raider. And the second guy, what happens is, he silences my magic, and that's 100% what I rely on to kill him. So it's a bit... the last time I tried him, he killed me. I mean, it was kind of a drawn-out fight, but he ended up winning. Because he has these cronies that just keep zapping me and blocking my magic, and I can't even heal myself when that's blocked. So, if you do have any questions, just let me know. I think I forgot I was going to go over my base stats. Right now my strength is 504, dexterity 643, stamina is 3158, intelligence is 4492, wisdom is 2277. Let's skip melee damage. Let's go to magic damage. Magic damage is 2530, my magic attack is 17,383. Critical hits 1,053. Healing bonus is 1265, and accuracy is 2348. People Go Boom is asking if there is an archery class and are there clans, guilds. Yes, this game is very much a full-fledged, very robust game. That's partly what I was talking about earlier. A lot of people want to lump it into every other free-to-play game. And this game plays very much like a full-fledged, robust Western pay-to-play game, like World of Warcraft. And even, actually, I believe, in my opinion, World of Warcraft could learn a thing or two from Runes of Magic, and other MMOs as well. There is a Scout class, which would be your archery class, and it's high DPS like the Rogue. As far as clans or guilds, there are guilds. Danger Stranger, yeah, he's marking the similarities between WoW. The similarities end with the graphics. Every MMO has quests, right? And has a user interface. Every MMO has a mini-map and a character bar. Actually, what you're looking at on my screen, these are all add-ons I'm using. Runes of Magic can use add-ons like other. And it's very customizable. When you first play the game, you will be thinking, "Wow, this is like World of Warcraft." Runes of Magic does not blatantly copy WoW. I don't want to get into any kind of fanboyism, but it doesn't blatantly copy WoW. If you think doing quests is a copy of WoW, then WoW actually copied EverQuest. WoW actually got a lot of its stuff from EverQuest and Ultima Online and games before it. But Runes of Magic, when you start getting up in the higher levels, you'll see a lot of the uniqueness the game has. Runes of Magic has a very robust gear upgrading and modifying system that is really popular. It's not advertised very often, but it's one of the most popular aspects of the game. You can insanely modify gear and play. Well, even like hardcore min-maxers, they love that about the game. It's got a dual class system where you can combine two different classes to get elite skills and other special skills and whatnot. It has Guild Wars, which is insanely fun. The Guild Wars, everybody gets their own house. They get free housing, and at the beginning of the game, you get a mount at the beginning of the game. But guilds can have guild castles, And they're massive structures, instant structures that can be shared or unshared. And once you get into Guild Wars, Guild Wars is a massive, highly strategic PvP environment. It involves many things. There's many factors go into it. In guild castles, you can build your own extra buildings in the guild castle courtyard, and you can level those buildings as well. And when you're not in Guild Wars, those buildings will offer guild members certain buffs. Like you can get buff towers, you can build a forge, you can build a stable that will give you buffs for speed, mount speed. But during Guild Siege, they'll offer a whole range of new bonuses to help you fight in the siege war. And a siege war will add two guilds' castles together in the same instanced environment. And besides the obvious ability to just go and attack the other person and try to kill them, you actually have a goal. There's crystals that will be placed around, and you have to try to capture those crystals. And when you get a hold of a crystal, you start earning these points, these crystal points, like every minute, and you can instantly spend those on siege weapons. So you can actually buy like battering rams and catapults to instantly start using to try to break down the other castle's gates and break down their walls. Because if one of the ways you can win is to occupy their main crystal inside the throne room. You have to do that for a full 5 minutes though, so it can be tough, especially in a guild that has like 100 people in it. I mean, you're talking like a massive PvP battle, but it also has highly strategic elements to it. You're trying to capture crystals. There's a slew of traps, and you can set up. You can have siege wars. You're trying to get the crystals upgraded, and you have to strategize with your teammates. Having vent or TeamSpeak is really desirable because you need to be able to coordinate. And there's even more to it than that. And of course, there's all kinds of prizes you can win, titles and whatnot. So I guess a long story short is, yeah, when you jump into the game, I can't fault people for saying that it's a copy of WoW, because it plays like just about any MMO, like Warhammer Online, World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings Online. But once you start getting into the guts of it, you'll start seeing a lot of unique aspects of Runes of Magic. A lot of those aspects, I think, even that World of Warcraft and other MMOs could learn from. I would love to see the entire MMO industry adopt some of the standards, taken from Runes of Magic. I'd love to see some of those being used, because I think they just, I think ROM just did some things really well. There's cons too, though. It's pretty laggy right now. There's some bugs in the Siege War which make it hard to play fairly. Okay, I'm gonna try. He's got me. He's on me now. I'm gonna try to take care of him here. I'd like to take care of some of these cronies of it. Oh, see? I'm gonna die already. Come on. See, my heal won't go off. I have that incantation. Oh, he's gonna get me. Nope, nope. Wow, that was close. I'm gonna try to take some of these guys out. They have this thing, it's called an incantation of chaos, and it lasts forever. Lasts way too long. Oh shoot, I forgot, I think they absorbed my rising tide too. which kind of sucks. Yeah, so, see, my problem is I have to concentrate on the main guy here. And I can't really do that too much because I keep getting this incantation chaos on me. And they're fearing me a little bit, but I'm not too worried about the fear as much as... Yeah, see? That stupid incantation of chaos is like 10 seconds long. See, if I could kill these cronies, I could just get them out of the way. My Rising Tide is my best spell I have, and it's just... See, they're double casting it on me. Well, I guess I took too long. It drove me crazy. Alright, I wasn't paying too much attention to the chat room. I get a little worked up in this. I'm not much of a raider, as if you can tell. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. What are the advantages for a guy that pays? The advantages for a guy that pays is speed. The cash shop offers mainly stuff that will speed up your progression. It's not just like there's nothing in there that's just like, oh, this will add 100 points to your base attributes. You'll get stuff you can buy, like clean purified fusion stones, which will add to your which will let you more quickly upgrade your armor. Instead of having to wait to build up all the gold in the game you need to buy some fusion stones, you can buy them just with money. You still have to use them, which means you still have to utilize them in gameplay. Like, you still have to play the game. They're more like a tool. Like if you think about crafting. I wrote this in one of my articles, and actually that link I put up there. I'll put this link up again for Massive Lee's Runes of Magic articles. If you scroll back through there, I wrote one. Trying to think of the name of it. I wrote one that talked about how the stuff in the item shop, a lot of it is like a tool that's similar to a crafting tool, or crafting material. Like, if you think about crafting, what do you have to do? You have to collect the resources you need. You have to find or buy the recipe you need. Then you might need to refine some of those materials, and then you can craft the item. Well, upgrading your armor to make yourself more powerful is like that. A purified fusion stone is a tool, and you can buy it from the item shop or get them via in-game methods. But you can't just buy it and you're instantly more powerful. You have to utilize it, and you have to utilize it correctly. You could actually use it in the wrong manner, and so somebody who was playing in-game only could end up with better equipment than somebody who actually paid money for it. That's because you're using it like a recipe, and you have to know what you're doing, or think about what you're doing. But as long as you get what you want out of it, that's what matters. That's what matters about these games. I'll give a shout out to Swag, the Runes of Magic community manager right now. He just did his latest podcast about Runes of Magic, and in it he answered an email, and he said he used it because partly, well, to paraphrase what he said, he picked it because he wanted to address it and the many comments and questions that are similar to it. The people who are asking, or I should say that is, the people who always ask about why can't you give the warrior rogue more love, or this and that. And usually, guess what does that usually boil down to when people say give it more love? They always say, I know the warrior, or I know the druid has to have less healing than the priest, but give it some love. I mean, to be a little bit cynical, that usually boils down to them saying, yeah, I know the druid should be less powerful than the priest, but make it as powerful anyways. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Or make it so powerful that the difference between the two classes doesn't matter. And that goes in line with the kind of mentality that people think when they play an MMO, not just Runes of Magic, any MMO. They think they have to be number one, and they have to be the best. Well, that's kind of hard to do. That's going to be nigh impossible to do in any game you play. I mean, what is the best? I mean, there's really only one best, right? Or at least one best for each class, as Swag put it. Like in World of Warcraft, how are you the best? It's like how, let's say you want to be the best shaman. How are you the best shaman? I mean, there can really only be one, at least one per server. So, but I'm not going to get too far into that rant. But yeah, the moral of my story is I play mostly to have fun. I picked a priest rogue, and I know right from the day I picked it, because I did some research, I knew that my class was always going to be less powerful than other combinations, but I don't care. I mean, my class is really fun to play. I've got 3 damage over times, and I got my Rising Tide, and I get my Shadow Fairy, and I got the Shadow Fury elite skill, which makes me desirable for mages. And it's just really fun to try to push that envelope with my class, to try and spec it like a mage. I mean, in other words, just, you don't have to have a goal like be number one to have fun in an MMO. I mean, basically fun is what you make of it. So, besides that, like, long, boring rant, let's get on to these bosses here. Gorn and Ordig. And Maso. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one. So let me make sure I got everything right. I've got some nice healing potions here. It heals 1500 HP instantly. I don't really need these MP things here. I thought I had some extra HP boosters. Where did I put them? Okay, that heals 1200, but I don't think that'll stack with strong. It's this one. Potent regeneration restores 3. Oh, that's 360 36 every 2 seconds. That's 400, that's 40 every 2 seconds, much better. 1 nut in a sugar cone. Nice name, by the way. is asking what game this is. We're past the halfway point. I'm going to do a recap real quick before I take on these bosses. My name's Jeremy, if you're just tuning in for Massively TV, and I'm with Massively.com or Massively.joystick.com, live streaming a free-to-play MMO called Runes of Magic. This was developed by Runewaker and published by Frogster International and Frogster America, and it plays a lot like World of Warcraft or some other Western-based games. And we're just doing a dungeon run. The dungeon's actually rated below me, but because I'm doing it solo and I'm a priest, I'm a priest rogue, so I kind of went in somewhat gimped because, and now I'm at these third bosses. Let me show you where I'm at in the. See, I'm almost to the end. I beat the first two bosses. The second boss I didn't really beat. It was kind of a stalemate. So he might be the last boss again. I can't remember. But I'm gonna go in and try to see what I can do now. I'm gonna throw up some heals on me real quick just in case before I attack, and let's attack. Going in. Oh man, it's like walking in sludge. So far these guys aren't giving me any trouble. I have a bad feeling about this, so. Yeah, that seemed way too easy. I got some juice concentrate. Let's make some juice. Actually, I forgot the Ivina's Blessing is going on right now. And what that is, it's a periodic bonus that they do during the weekends. Not every weekend, but sometimes they'll put NPCs in the main city where you can just talk to them and they'll give you like a free 2-hour buff. That's a nice buff. It's usually like boost your health or attack, and it's for different dungeons. Or, well, they sometimes do that, and sometimes they just do it on particular dungeons. So when you're about to enter the dungeon, it'll ask you, what kind of buff would you like? I'm going backwards. This dungeon also has some really awesome music. I love all the music in Runes of Magic. I think it's pretty top notch. These guys might not even aggro me because of my level. That's one of the differences, the nuances about Runes of Magic. There's going to be some, due to the gear being so important in the game, it can make mathematical equations different than in typical games like World of Warcraft. Like sometimes I'll aggro mobs way lower than me. I'm actually using my Rising Tide on all these guys. I could do, like, run around and do the DOT. This is what I love to do. Just run around and DOT the heck out of everything. DOT madness. talk about lag. Now I'm gonna have to tidal wave these guys just to clear up my lag. They're putting a dent in me. I'm over halfway. So maybe I shouldn't have. The lag got a little too bad on me. Maybe I shouldn't have aggroed all this. Let's run out and get a little. Oh, he had to run behind me. Okay, we cleared those out. I probably shouldn't have done that. It was still fun. Looks like someone just came in. Winzu? Looks like, wow. Where's PoE? I think you're talking about Path of Exile, and you actually missed Path of Exile, Winzu. You're late for it. It was on from, I believe, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's currently 8:48 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I started this 48 minutes ago at 8. So I started this an hour after Path of Exile ended. But the Path of Exile stream will be pre-recorded, so you can always go back and watch it if you'd like. I'm going to clear out this trash mobs, and then we're going to see how well or how badly I fare against Yuguda. I kind of wish I had a party with me, because it'd just be fun to like hang with some other people here, you know? Especially some mages. They'd AoE the heck out of all those trash mobs. Alright, let's see. Oh crap! Did I aggro him, or did he? Ah, shoot. I wanted to get all my buffs up. I'll try and get him up here. Hopefully he doesn't get me with any super attack. I wanted to get my fairy up too here. I didn't even get my pet out. My pet will add a little bit of HP. Alright, let's see if I can hurt him. He might kill my pet. Unfortunately, these fairies that you get at level 50, they have so little health. That was too easy. That was way too easy. Oh, that's why. Now, I forgot. That's why it was too easy. Oh man. Ouch. Zapped. Like literally, that was called zap. I need to throw some health up here. I'm pretty much using my Rising Tide and just as a tank. I'm just treating it like a tank and spank because I am kind of overpowered for this instance. Even though, like, I was talking about how the gear can make it mathematics unbalanced in the game. One of the things is, other things is, some bosses are better against different classes. Like for instance, that second boss even though I should have been able to kill him pretty easily. But because he kept throwing that incantation on me and blocking all my magic, he was difficult for me, because I relied totally on magic. Red Thunder's Shin Armor. Take that. Uguda's Spirit Crystal. Let's just take all. Take all. Oh. Wow, my bags are actually filled up. Couldn't take all. That's okay, I don't need those things. Forget that. So I think I'll go over here. Uguda's Throne always makes for a pretty cool screenshot. Let me see if I can dismiss. I forgot to bring up the dismiss spell, I think. Oh no, there it is, recall. Uguda's nasty, I don't know, dragon, demon, bat throne. With like a bearskin rug to sit on. Although I don't think it's, you know, very comfortable to have that bear head right there, right where you're sitting. Is it? I wouldn't want that. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh, do I have to run the whole way back? Now, one of the things I didn't do is I didn't try to do any quests or anything that might have been possible in this dungeon. I just wanted to kill some stuff, and that's what I did. And I forgot to get myself something to drink while I did this live stream. I usually have something to drink with me because I get kind of parched. I do have something to drink, I just didn't get it ready. So I'll try to do this one-handed. Now they're slowing me down. I'll try to kill these guys off. Okay, it's getting close to the end of the live stream. We've got a few more minutes. We can have a little bit more fun. But I'm going to repost that link. Anybody wants to read more about in the chat room about Runes of Magic, there's the link to it. For those few of you, if you're still around, if you stuck around, I'll throw up the link to the actual game where you can download it and try it out if you want. It's free to download and free to play. Well, it's a free to play game. Of course, I've paid. I probably spent a ton of money over the last 3 years on this game. Make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah. Actually, let me see if I can. I'm afraid to warp out because it's been kind of laggy in certain areas and boots me from the game. Let's go with first person view. I actually like going first person view. It's just not very good for when you're actually trying to, like, you know, play the game, play dungeons and stuff. That's not very helpful. But sometimes just for kind of role playing or to get immersed in the game, I'll jump in and go first person mode. So that was Cyclops Lair, or a Griza Sanctum, whichever you prefer to call it. Home of the Cyclops in Dragonfang Ridge. They're sort of like a thorn in the Order of Dark Glory's side. Order of the Dark Glory being one of the human factions that have set up the Obsidian Stronghold in Well, they've set up the Obsidian Stronghold in Dust Devil Canyon, but they do have some teams over in Dragonfang Ridge here, where we're at, and they're kind of fighting off a two a two-man front. Their forces are spread pretty thin right now. They're fighting off the ice dwarves in northern Dragonfang Ridge, and they're also fighting off the Cyclops here over in eastern Dragonfang Ridge. And the Cyclops are responsible for basically excommunicating all the Capra from their homeland. Whoops. The Capra being those polite little, I don't know, goat men. They got kind of humanoid goat people in Sicilia Steppes. They Dogamore, where the Cyclops have set up camp over there, they actually used to be the Capra's hometown, but they got dispersed among the whole zone because they were kicked out. And of course, those nasty Zerodons, they're the ones, those wielders of dark magic. They were helping the Cyclops. That's what helped them in the war against the Capra. I forgot, this is my tombstone from the last time I played and died. It's not gonna really give me anything, but I can make it disappear by using it. So, let's look at the map again. We're in the top left of this map, way up in the top left at Cyclops Lair, way through the mazy, labyrinthine jungle of the Cyclops stronghold. It's a bunch of little canyons, and it can be pretty maze-like. Unless you've been here a handful of times and started to learn the layout, it can be a little confusing. You can get lost. But I'm gonna run down and try to repair real quick. I think I'm gonna just take a shortcut and warp over there. Or maybe I don't have shoot, I might not have a Dragonfang Ridge. Oh wait, here I have this. This is closer to home. Alright, we're getting to the bottom of the hour. This was Runes of Magic. I was your host, Jeremy, taking a look at this free-to-play by runewaker and published by Frogster International or Frogster America. You can read my articles in that link I put up in the chat room at massively.com or massively.joystick.com. If you want to get a hold of me, you can email me at jeremy@massively.com. If you have any questions, any more questions about this game, or advice, or tips, or you know, whatever. Also, if I'm on Twitter, if you want to tweet me, you can write me on Twitter at Jeremy_Stratton. That's JEREMY_STRATTON. I use Twitter quite often. I'm on there a lot. Please don't ask me for my Facebook. It's not a huge deal, not a huge big deal. It's just that I don't use Facebook for a lot of social networking. I use Facebook to literally just stay in contact with friends and family, with friends I grew up with, and my family. So I just keep it somewhat personal. I am on Google Plus, Jeremy Stratton. You could find me on Google Plus. I'd be more than happy to hook up with you there. Here's Lick. Here's the Obsidian Guards hanging out, wishing they weren't in this cold, dry land. Probably wishing they were hanging out in Varanus, partying it up during the Juice Festival. let's see. I need to find. What do I need to find here? Well, it's 9:01. It's pretty much the end of the hour, so I'm gonna do a little repairing if I can find the one of the NPCs I need. But I hope you had fun. Thanks for tuning in. I've been live streaming an awful lot this week, but tonight, Friday night, brings an end to my week-long live streaming. But I will be back, and actually, in the near future, I'm going to be doing a dual stream with Karen, who writes the Guild Council column that talks all about guild leadership for different MMOs. And I'm going to also, and she also writes about Rift. She talks, I think it's called Enter at Your Own Rift, and that's all on massively.com. I'll put that up. I'll just put a general link in the chat. And check out the MV guide. The MV guide is a weekly rundown of all the chats, of all the live streams we're doing, not chats. It basically comes out every Monday morning, and it tells you who's doing what when, so you'll always be able to tune in. And the staff at Massively are always live streaming stuff constantly. We've been doing more and more lately. But here's a link to the MV guide, our Massively TV guide, and that'll tell you what's going on. It is the end of the week, so you're gonna kind of have to bookmark that and wait until Monday morning to check that link again to get the updated version for the next week. But look forward soon to me and Karen dual streaming. We did Dragon Nest one day, and it went over really well. It was a lot of fun to do. So with that, I'm going to close down, and I will be back, and I'll see everybody next week.